Hello and welcome to the Evo India YouTube channel. Exciting times for all automotive enthusiasts because the Himalayan 452 is finally here. This is Royal Enfield's latest and quite possibly their greatest, and this is a quick walk around about this motorcycle. Now all I'm allowed to share in this video are the technical specifications. All my opinions and thoughts will be shared on 10th November. The first ride review will be up by then, so stay tuned for that. But let's start with the overall design of this motorcycle. Now this looks very familiar but very different at the same time. So this has all the traditional Royal Enfield cues. You have the round headlight, this fairing, this tall beak and this rack, all signifying that it is a Himalayan, but at the same time it looks sophisticated. It doesn't look as industrial and it's got a more flowing design to it. You have a 21-inch wheel up front, and the eagle-eyed among you would have noticed that this is after all an upside down fork setup, and you have this nice Himalayan fork cover over here as well. Now moving behind, you get this new fuel tank. It is larger than before and it also holds more fuel than before. This holds as much as 17 liters of fuel, so that's around 2 liters more than before. And if you come from the rider's cockpit, you have an all new instrument cluster. Now this is a full TFT unit, a first for Royal Enfield. Now on this instrument cluster you get access to full Google Map view, so that is a first for a motorcycle of this class. So essentially you get an entire map view. That's quite interesting. You get ride modes, and there are a couple of ride modes to choose from. You get an eco mode, a performance mode, and both of these have switchable ABS, as you can see on the screen. Then you have this new handlebar setup with revised switch cubes, and you also have a joystick and these two mode and home buttons to control that entire screen. Now you'll probably notice this new engine. Now this is called the Sherpa 450 series of engines. This is what Royal Enfield is going to be calling this new series of engine. It sounds pretty apt in my opinion. Apart from that, this engine is a modern engine. It's thoroughly modern. It gets liquid cooling, it gets DOHC, 4 valves, and it's a single cylinder engine. The compression ratio is also up from 9.5 on the previous one to around 11.5 on this. That means it gets a lot more power as well. This makes around 39.5 bhp at 8,000 rpm and 40 newton meters of torque at 5,500 rpm. Now apart from that, you move behind and the entire underpinnings of this bike is also new. Like I said, you get a new upside down show-off fork setup. At the rear, you get a monoshock. Now both the front and the rear have 200 mm of travel, and the ground clearance is also up to 230 mm. The wheel setup is a 21 17-inch setup, similar to the last time, but the rear tire is a little wider now. Now the frame is also all new. Now we have a twin spar perimeter frame with a bolt-on subframe, and this frame, it uses the engine as a stressed member of the motorcycle. Now apart from that, in terms of features, like I said, you get switchable riding modes, you get switchable ABS, you get a new color TFT display with navigation function. And if you look behind, continuing with the design theme of this motorcycle, so if you look at the brake lights, if I press the brake here, they are a part of the indicator setup. Are you a fan of that? Do let us know in the comment section down below. Now coming back to the chassis for a moment, you have a new saddle height. Now the stock saddle height is 825 mm. You get a low seat height option at 805 mm, and this stock seat, the 825 mm seat, is used as adjustable, I must add, to 845 mm if you so choose to do so. It's pretty easy to do that. All you have to do is open the seat, take 2 barrels, move them to a lower position, and you can increase or decrease the seat height accordingly. So that is a quick walk around of this all new Himalayan 452. Like I said, our first ride review will be up on the 10th of November. Stay tuned for that, in which I will give you a proper breakdown of all the specs, how the bike is to ride, and my opinions about it. In the meanwhile, why don't you tell me what you think about this Royal Enfield Himalayan 452 in the comment section down below. And as always, thanks for watching.